Hey, and welcome back. This is PewDiePie. I am Mike Dean. He is Joe Bell. Football Joe Bell, as we like to call him. And we've been talking about the last week's game. We lost to Detroit 27-20, but now we're going to go on. We're going to get that behind us, right, Joe?
We're getting that behind us. Watch.
As Coach Raheem Morris says,
game over.
Let's think about Minnesota.
And they're still leading the division.
Yeah, they're tied for the division.
Honestly, it's okay. I mean, I think the other teams probably will beat Detroit.
It's, this is the first.
Probably the bad thing for us.
There are so many analysts now talking about, what's going on. What's this? It's the first game of the season. Come on, let's talk about in 3 or 4 weeks. If we got some losses.
My only concern is that's exactly how we looked the last 2 games of the preseason.
Well, we don't.
And we followed it right into the game. So hopefully this week we can go to Minnesota and make some changes.
We are in a dome.
We are in a dome, not outside.
Hopefully that'll work out something.
Air conditioning fall in or like that. It's not snowing yet, so we're okay.
All right, so we got Minnesota lost to San Diego 24-17. They did not have a good game either. I mean, McNabb was 7 for 15, 39 yards. Looked atrocious.
39 yards passing.
39 yards. That's what I did say. 39 yards.
Passing. 39 yards.
Whereas Tom Brady had what?
Yeah.
Tom Brady had what?
517.
517.
Just 517. Almost 500 yards more than Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
Okay. The only real play they had last week against San Diego was Percy Harvin's kick return for a touchdown at the beginning of the game, where my kicker in fantasy football broke his foot and out for the season. First play of the game, I lost my kicker.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah. I got talk fantasy today, but I lost.
And you're speaking of, because Minnesota's a lot like what we did, okay? Because they only ran 43 plays in the game. Adrian Peterson only ran the ball 16 times. And
he had 98 yards. He did not make 100 yards.
No, he didn't make 100 yards, but he's also complaining that he didn't get the ball enough. So
he's going to get it more this week.
It's going to be a heavy dose.
Tampa, after Javon Best did so well against Tampa last week, they are going to run the ball.
Yeah.
And they're going to keep running the ball. So Tampa's going to have to find a way to stop the run early.
Right. So give us your
let's get to the keys of the game.
Keys of the game.
Because the keys are pretty interesting right off the bat. First one, stop Adrian Peterson.
There we go. We just talked about it.
Without a doubt. McNabb only had 39 yards passing. So Adrian Peterson averaged 6.1 yards per carry against San Diego. If they'd have played him more, probably would have won that game. So it was a poor coaching decision in that game to not use him more at 6.1 yards per carry.
All right, a question real quick. Let me ask you this. From a standpoint of that, do you think that Raheem's going to put some more guys in the box and try to put 8 men in the box and let them dare McNabb
I think
to
they're going to have to, and that's part of my comment is when you stop the run, we're forcing Donovan McNabb and his 39 yards passing to win the game. They need to force Donovan McNabb to win this game. I don't care if they put 9 men in the box. Okay. They have to stop Adrian Peterson because he'll win the game.
Right.
And I don't think Donovan McNabb can.
I don't think he can either.
So
I agree with you.
That was my first one. Number two would be give LeGarrette Blount the ball. I did not agree at all with taking him out of the game after the first half. I don't agree with it. They were not down far enough that they didn't need to still run the ball. Okay, that's what I was going to ask you, because Raheem said that they were in their 2-minute offense a whole second half. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either, but I'm just saying.
In a 2-minute offense. So let's go back to number 3.
Number 3.
Control the clock. My God, we were horrible last week controlling the clock and field position. Field position, we were great, but we didn't get the ball and we didn't hold on to the ball. Again, giving the ball to LeGarrette Blount and keeping them from running the ball so much, we can do that. Right. So there's a lot of things that fall in here that are going to make a big difference. If you can do 2 of the 3 of these things. So
stop Adrian Peterson.
If you don't stop Adrian Peterson, we better be able to run, and we better be controlling the clock.
Right.
So either way, it's hard to do that when he's running the ball. But he'll clip off 50 yards at a whack.
Defense has to force Minnesota 3 and outs. Basically, is what you're looking at. Basically 3 and outs, and then and for us offense to have sustained drives basically to win this game.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's the only way it's really going to work. And when they do kickoffs, we're going to have to be really careful with Percy Harvin, because Keenan will kick it in the back of the end zone. He will come out. He'll come out from halfway back, 3/4 of the way back in the end zone, because he's fast enough to get at least to the 20. And that's really the only concern there on these kickoffs, is if they can at least get to the 20. If they know they're going to get to the 20, then take the chance and see. Because with the players being closer on the kickoff, once they're all down there, they're all already down there. You get by that first wave, if you notice the couple that got them, it's wide open. Yeah. You're gone. I mean, so they're already all bunched up around the 15 or 20 before you touch that ball. So they're already all the way to you. They're not hanging back. And that'll change in the NFL here sooner or later. People are going to see
that. What I'm going to bring this up, and it's kind of been talked about by some of the pundits, is there was 5 returns, I believe, in the NFL for touchdowns in the first week. Is that because more than likely they didn't practice it in preseason because they couldn't?
Yep.
I mean, I think that's what it would be.
And part of it is them being closer. You think being closer they would have better coverage. But being closer,
they're
too far down. They're not standing back.
It's like when
enough.
your running back beats the first level, you only have one guy to beat.
Yeah, and that's basically what they're doing. You got the kicker standing back there like Nate Keating, who paid dearly for his season for being the only one back there. But that's exactly what happens. I mean, you end up with that spot, and what do? You've got one. He's not a kicker. Is not going to stop Percy Harvin, and neither is ours. Okay. So they don't need to not let him get past.
So we got to watch out for Percy Harvin. That's a key to another key to the game. He's got 4 keys now.
I have 4 keys.
He's 4 keys out. But let's ask one quick question before we get out of here, and we're going to go into our next segment, which we're going to have the question of the day, the bonehead. We've had a great home bonehead. Anyway, offensively, Josh Freeman. Okay, he didn't look good. Okay, will having LeGarrette Blount run the ball more help him out?
Absolutely, absolutely. At this point in the season, he hasn't shown he can carry a game.
Not yet.
In the preseason either. He just didn't do it very well in the preseason. It's like his sophomore season, really. Because last year was his full real coming
season,
out.
right.
I'm here. I'm a Pro Bowl player. And he is. He just has to prove it. He just has to prove it. Because we're at a point where he has to find a way to win the game. Now, late in the game against Detroit, he a couple times threw passes that if they were caught and should have been caught, we probably would be in it. We would have been in that game, and we would be talking differently now. Yeah. And Stan be out here wearing a Buccaneers shirt, but it just didn't work out that way.
I would like to see Stan because it's a small.
I'd put him in one of my extra large tent shirts.
No, just put him in a small. Let him squeeze into it. That would be really, well, the camera would have to be a wide angle.
We'd have to work that out. But
we'll sorry, Stan.
We don't play him again, so I can't talk about it anymore.
Well, we'll play him next year. So
he did well this week. Michigan won, too. Michigan beat Notre Dame with like 2 seconds left.
That was a huge game.
28 points in the fourth quarter. God. So Stan wins this week for the Michigan fans in general out there.
Well, and we're talking college, we're jumping around, but if you ever want to hear that, starting October 3rd, we're going to be on the radio in the morning, 104.3 Fox Sports. Mike and Joe, and we'll talk about everything, and you can call in too. So
Mike and Joe in the morning.
That's right. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. October 3rd, but let's go on to segment 4, and we'll be back in a minute.
We're going to talk about around the NFL. There's a lot of injuries this weekend. We're going to talk a minute about that. Yep. And I've got a great bonehead and a pretty good question.
We'll see you in a minute.
So we'll be right back.